Rip Van Winkle by Washington Irving, published in 1819 as part of the sketchbook of Geoffrey Crayon, Gent, is a classic short story that weaves together elements of folklore, humor, and social commentary. Set against the backdrop of the Catskill Mountains, the tale follows the life of Rip Van Winkle, a simple and amiable man whose encounter with the supernatural leads to a remarkable journey through time. The story begins in the village of Catskill at the foothills of the Catskill Mountains, where Rip Van Winkle resides. Rip is a laid-back and good-natured man, but his life is far from easy. He is married to Dame Van Winkle, a domineering and cantankerous woman who frequently scolds him for his perceived laziness and lack of productivity. Rip's favorite retreat is the local inn, where he spends his days with his dog and enjoys the company of his friends. Despite the challenges at home, Rip is well liked in the village, and his carefree nature endears him to those around him. One day, Rip sets off into the mountains to escape his wife's nagging and to indulge in some solitary relaxation. As he climbs higher into the wilderness, he stumbles upon a mysterious figure carrying a keg. This stranger, dressed in antiquated Dutch clothing, appears to be in need of assistance. Rip, known for his kind heart, offers to help the stranger carry the keg. The two make their way to a secluded amphitheater in the mountains, where a group of men is engaged in a game of ninepins. Rip, exhausted from the journey, partakes in the festivities and drinks from the keg offered by the mysterious stranger. Soon after, Rip succumbs to a deep slumber. When Rip wakes up, he finds himself in a vastly changed world. The village he once knew is unrecognizable, and even the landscape has transformed. As he navigates the unfamiliar surroundings, Rip encounters people and structures that seem out of place in time. The reader, along with Rip, gradually realizes that something extraordinary has occurred during his sleep. The story then shifts to the revelation of what transpired during Rip Van Winkle's prolonged nap. The mysterious figure he encountered in the mountains is identified as Henry Hudson, the legendary Dutch explorer, and the men engaged in the game of ninepins are his ghostly crew. Rip Van Winkle, it turns out, has experienced an encounter with the supernatural. As Rip grapples with the shock of waking up in a world vastly different from the one he left, he makes his way back to the village. However, much to his dismay, Rip discovers that his beloved village has undergone significant changes during his absence. The people he once knew are gone, replaced by a new generation with no recollection of Rip Van Winkle. The consequences of Rip's long sleep extend to his personal life as well. His wife, Dame Van Winkle, has passed away, and his children have grown up and established their own lives. Rip, now a living relic of the past, becomes a figure of curiosity and speculation in the transformed village. Despite the challenges of adjusting to a world that has moved on without him, Rip Van Winkle retains his easygoing nature and adapts to his new reality. The story concludes with Rip reflecting on the passage of time and the inevitability of change. The reader is left with a sense of melancholy as Rip, now a solitary and elderly figure, becomes a living link between the past and the present. Rip Van Winkle is more than a fantastical tale of time travel. It is also a commentary on the evolving nature of societies and the impact of historical change. Washington Irving uses Rip's journey through time as a lens through which to explore themes of cultural shifts, generational change, and the inexorable march of progress. The character of Rip Van Winkle embodies the quintessential man out of time, a literary archetype that allows authors to explore the disorientation and challenges faced by individuals thrust into a world that has moved on without them. Rip's experiences reflect the broader societal changes taking place in America during the early 19th century, particularly the shift from a colonial past to a rapidly changing and modernizing nation. Rip Van Winkle is also infused with Irving's signature wit and humor. The character of Rip, with his easygoing nature and penchant for escaping from the responsibilities of life, serves as a source of both amusement and sympathy. Irving's narrative style, marked by detailed descriptions and a rich portrayal of the Catskill Mountains, contributes to the immersive quality of the story. The enduring appeal of Rip Van Winkle lies in its ability to resonate with readers across time. The themes of change, the passage of time, and the inevitability of progress remain universally relevant. Irving's exploration of the human experience, wrapped in the cloak of a fantastical and supernatural tale, ensures that Rip Van Winkle continues to captivate audiences and provoke contemplation about the nature of existence and the ever-changing world around us.